I have a new frame for setting up hypnosis without trance. I'm going to share it with you here. I call it the BrainWorks frame. Hey, how's it going? This is James Tripp. This is a video going out on James Tripp Chaos Wave on YouTube, also on the Hypnosis Without Trance blog. If you're a subscriber to James Tripp Chaos Wave, then you will have noticed things have been a bit thin on the ground over the last few weeks. I got ill. I got flu. It was brutal. Then coming off the back of that, I got tracheal bronchitis was the diagnosis I got, and that was even more horrible than the flu. So what I want to do now is I want to get back on top of things. You'll note there has been some content coming out. I've had the Hypnolix series coming out on Mondays. So you'll see this video on a Monday as well. It'll be released on a Monday. I'm pausing Hypnolix till next week. Hypnolix part 4 will be out next week. I want to share with you something that I've just started using recently, which I use in place of, if you're familiar with the Hypnosis Mastery Program materials from Hypnosis Without Trance, you'll remember the not hypnosis frame, the not hypnosis frame. This is where I would give people a little bit of a pre-talk around hypnosis, my take on hypnosis. And then as we shift gears into doing something, I'd say, let's do something. This is not hypnosis, but it'll give you a sense of how hypnosis works. Now, I used to set that up because I always like to play two sides of the coin. Some people are a bit alarmed when they think, right, the hypnosis is about to happen. But if you sort of come in casually through the back door, you say, this is not hypnosis, this will give you a sense of how hypnosis works. You're still playing and leveraging the idea of hypnosis while saying we're not actually doing that now, so the defenses come down. So this is what I used to do many years ago, did it for a long time. But times change, things evolve. I just say, by the way, that frame, interestingly enough, Melissa Tiers shared it in her book with Kelly Woods, but she shared her own version of it. So the version you've got here is the legitimate version, but this book is nonetheless fantastic if you ever want to check it out. Integrative Hypnosis for kids and teens. So as a quick aside, and this is something well worth mentioning, Melissa Tiers is coming to the UK to teach her powerful course, Coaching the Unconscious Mind. 2 days, 7th and 8th of July, in Edinburgh, which is World Heritage City. Absolutely phenomenal place, fantastic transport links. If you want to get on this is Melissa's updated version of this. She is teaching some incredibly powerful processes. You want to get on this if you're interested in affecting powerful, significant, lasting change with your fellow human beings. I'll put a link up, you can click through, you can decide. This week, by the way, for the next week as you watch this, there's going to be a phenomenal launch week discount, so make sure you jump on that if you want to do it. I'll put a link through somewhere around here, you can check it out. Okay, let's get back to the video. So I want to share with you this new frame for setting up Hypnosis Without Trance sessions. It sits in the same place as the not hypnosis frame, so you do a little bit of pre-talk, and then when you want to shift gears, you deliver this frame. I tell you what, let's do something. Let's do a little experiment. And it doesn't really matter whether you call this hypnosis or not. It's just a thing that works with how the brain works. So that's the setup. We're going to do something, and it doesn't really matter whether you call it hypnosis or not. It's just working with how the brain works. Now, all hypnosis framing is hypnosis in itself. It's seeding certain ideas. And I want to share with you the ideas that this is seeding. First of all, you've talked about hypnosis, then you're going to shift gears. You say, I tell you what, let's do something. And then you say, it doesn't really matter whether you call it hypnosis or not. Now, what I'm introducing here is, it's another way of doing this. It's not hypnosis bit, but it's just sort of saying the label hypnosis isn't the thing itself. There is something else that goes beyond the label, that goes beyond the ideas, all of this kind of thing. And it also conveys a very easy attitude on my part, a very unattached attitude on my part. It doesn't, it takes me out of a position of trying to prove that hypnosis exists. When you're out doing street hypnosis and this kind of thing, even with some of the clients that I work with, because a lot of the clients I work with don't know me as a hypnotist, and sometimes I want to introduce a bit of hypnotic work and I want to start seeding the frame in. Well, I don't want to go all out and say I'm going to hypnotize you. I said, we'll do something, it doesn't really matter whether you call it hypnosis or not, because they may be skeptical about hypnosis, so I don't want that to be a barrier, and that's why I use that line. So I say, it doesn't really matter whether you call it hypnosis or not, it's just working with how the brain works, okay? So what I'm saying is we're doing something quite innocuous. We're working with how the brain works. Now, everybody unconsciously likes to think that their brain works. They want to think that their brain is working. So if what we're doing is just a thing that works with how the brain works, well, it's going to work, isn't it? So this is what I want to do. I want to set up the conditions whereby any ideas of hypnosis, any ideas of having something to prove are taken off the table. And what's replaced instead is something fairly innocuous, which is working with how the brain works. But what it's actually going to evolve into is something very interesting, very curious, and potentially highly impactful for the person. And then I go on to do my usual approach to hypnosis, which if you're familiar with the Hypnosis Mastery Program, you'll know something of that. It's evolved a little bit differently now, but it's by and large the same, which is directly coaching people into creating the experiences that we want them to experience. They have every capability of doing it. Hypnosis is just the utilization of our everyday psychological reality shaping faculties to create interesting experiences. Everybody is capable of using their mind to create hypnotic experiences. So my job is to coach them in doing that, coach them into a profound and interesting experience. And that's where I go next. That's the approach with Hypnosis Without Trance. Okay, so I hope you get some good use from that frame. Take it out, play around with it. If it doesn't make any sense for you, it might be because you're not used to the Hypnosis Without Trance ethos. But bear this in mind, everything is hypnosis. So when you're setting up hypnosis, setting it up in a way where people's resistance melts away, where they get 100% on board with the process you want to lead them through, that is the ideal position that you want to be in. And that is why I use little bits and pieces, little bits of business like this in my setup to get people flowing along with the process as we create it. Okay, if this has been a useful video for you, if you like this video, you like the idea in this video, like the video. If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, do subscribe. Next week we'll have Hypnolix number 4 coming out on Monday. We'll have some more content coming out this week. So hit subscribe, hit the bell so that you get notifications. And if you have any questions, go ahead and ask them in the comments section below. And I'll tell you what I'd love to hear from you. I'd love to hear from you in the comments section below what your favorite little bits of business for setting up hypnosis, especially impromptu hypnosis, are. Because, the thing is, there's a whole bunch of people that follow this channel. We're a community, we can learn from each other. So do please share your favorite bits of business for setting up hypnosis. Okay, until we speak again, take very good care.